you come across a rock pool, a beautiful and most wondrous rock pool where the water beats and flows into an iridescent crystal clear blue, and the sunlight drops with a tender touch. A place where the trees rise tall into the sky, providing a canopy into this little slice of heaven placed upon your path. And instantly, deep within, you know that you long to immerse your body into these waters, long to taste and feel the water upon your skin and let it wash through you. But instead, you stand by the side, sit by the rocks and let your feet sink gently into the pebbles, only as far as your knees will go. Safe, the mind echoes, yes, this is safe. So you watch the water instead. Watch it move through your feet in gentle currents, rocking back and forth, listening to the waves beating upon the edges of those rocks, but still yearning so much to be with it, to be a part of it, to feel its own heartbeat, to hear its own music drumming through you. You long for that which is only a step away, but still you sit and wait, dip your feet in slightly, but refuse to dive in. You stare into the waters, only to hear that gentle whisper carried by the wind saying, familiarity has long been the companion you refuse to part ways with, and your attachment to old and worn out ways of life clings to your skin like glue to paper. You know this too well, of course. Familiarity has a way of tethering one to a place, rooting one's roots so deep that one forgets that even the roots are always finding new pathways deep in the soil, forever growing and stretching and expanding, regrounding over and over again, and sometimes surfacing above the ground to find new pathways. How does one reground themselves, you ask? How does one allow the process be? Trust it even if the end may not be clear, even when the answers may not be there. Who's to say that this pool of water will not swallow you whole? How does one leave the rocky edges and immerse themselves into the waters? Well, you sink, gently, not in anticipation of what may be expected of and from you, or in anticipation of old narratives to replay themselves in these new waters. You trust that the initial jolt of cold, how different it feels, is the process of beginning. Oftentimes, you may find that you need to revisit those familiar spaces to move forward, for within familiarity are gemstones and building blocks to stand upon, the new upon the old. But in revisiting, you do not seek refuge there. You find the light that casts the shadow and you face it. Whatever you have around and within you is often the building blocks, the foundation of dropping that fear. Fear is paralyzing when comfort is guaranteed, and diving into the pool of water becomes too great a task to even dare take up. Sometimes, when the weeds choke at our being and the light struggles to land on our soft green leaves, when the rain barely falls and the earth chokes up dust and more dust, and new replanting beckons us to find more fertile, volcanic soil, that is just what we need. Because there is nourishment even when we do not see it. In the silence of what may feel like a long winter, these roots are nourishing themselves. I once heard a lady say, cry those tears, for they are watering the tree of life within you. But don't just cry in the sorrow, cry in the joy too, and let those tears fall with glee. And when you are ready to emerge from the soil, the sun shall be waiting to greet you, the wind shall be waiting to caress you, and this ground shall wait to finally feel your beautiful imprint upon its own skin. Only you will ever truly know when it is time to immerse yourself into those waters, and the guarantee is that along the way, you may end up finding the pathway back to a long-lost friend whom you parted ways with long before fear came knocking upon your doors.